I I watched the I watched football match a lot. Yeah, when I that time around 20 years of my age, I have to live in a monastery with a very strict rule. We are not allowed to go out, but we we always go secretly outside. Sometimes we have to what is it? We have to go over the fence. Yeah, very difficult. The most of the football match are midnight in Myanmar. Yeah, and 12 o'clock, sometimes at 2 o'clock. But I made an alarm and I go see. And then next morning, sometimes I came back next morning, early morning, around 6 o'clock. Actually, 5 o'clock, we have to wake up and we pray. And at 6 o'clock, we start eating. After that, we have to start learning the whole day, but without sleeping. It was okay.
Well, you were young.
Yeah. But now, if I don't have the enough sleep, it's not feeling well.
Yeah.
Maybe Sarah's age and her, maybe you can stay around 2 days without sleeping.
Not anymore. Not anymore. It's already starting. I'm getting tired.
But body weakness is start, I think, over 40. Yeah. Now I'm 42. So I notice after 40, a little bit change. Before 40, it was okay, I think.
Well, now you can watch football during the day.
Not very much crazy about that. Sometimes I open, but I'm reading, I'm making PowerPoint or something like that.
Yeah.
I don't focus. Yeah. When the announcer said, "Is it goals?" then I look.
Yeah.
Not very crazy if I compare with my age, young age. Okay, so let's continue. I hope you are well, because these days there are a lot of people who are sick. Yeah, maybe because of the temperature is changing. Today also I'm not very, not very fresh, but it's okay. I still can talk. So last week we have learned a little bit about Myanmar. I think from way. Okay. It's a noise. Ethnic groups in Myanmar and also the Buddhist population around the world. And I introduce what religion is and what Buddhism is, and also world religion. So today I want to, and then freedom of inquiry, and we finish here. So Kalama Sutta, if you are interested, you can read in Google. You can search in Google. This sutta is not very short. You can read very detailed there. So this is the brief introduction of this sutta. And also this is a very important sutta in Buddhist philosophy and Buddhism, and also the idea and what the Buddha wants the people, how to believe, how to choose our path, how to rely on ourselves like that. Yeah. So in this sutta, the Buddha taught to the Kalama people. Yeah. Kalama people, this is a big village. And that time the people, the Kalama people told the Buddha, there are a lot of believers or religious leaders came to us, and then all the leaders, religious leaders said, believe us, not to believe others. Yeah, our teaching is good, others are not good, like that. All the religious leaders said like that. So that's why we have doubt. Yeah, we have doubt, and also we cannot decide which kind of believing system is should be chosen, like that. So then the Buddha said, oh, it is right to doubt and to ask the question. So that's why the Buddha gave these 10 facts not to rely on without further verification. First one is the oral history or divine revelations. Here we should say only, yeah? Only. Sometimes divine revelations can be true, but what the Buddha wants us is not to rely on only divine revelations, only oral history, or only tradition, only reports or rumors, only scriptures or holy books, and logical reasoning. Here, logical reasoning is, sometimes without relying on anything, sometimes we think, oh, this is right, this is wrong. Only what you think. Sometimes some people think, oh, I think like that, I believe like that. So only logical reasoning should not rely on it. And if philosophical reasoning, and this one also, there is a lot of philosophy in the world, and we think ourselves and we analyze it. So only that kind of philosophical reasoning we should not rely. And also outward appearance. But here, this facts maybe because of the people at the time of the Buddha. In India, I think you may see some pictures. Some people, it looks, he looks very, peaceful. Sometimes think, oh, these people, maybe he has the truth. He has found the truth. And because you are looking at the picture, yeah, you can see only picture sitting calmly, yeah, calmly. Then you think, oh, this person is the holy one, like that, yeah. Only outward appearance, the people sometimes believe. And in the Buddhist scriptures and also in the history of in the Indian history, there are a lot of guru, yeah. A lot of guru, they look very peaceful, but we cannot say only outward appearance, yeah. Sometimes the people are fake, yeah, but their appearance, outward appearance looks very nice, but inner is very complicated and a lot of impurities. So that's why outward appearance, we should not rely on it, yeah. And one's own opinions, yeah. One's own opinions also, like logical thinking, logical reasoning, one's own opinions. Sometimes, yeah, Ruben think very deeply and correctly all the time, her opinion is nice, beautiful, then you believe that. Yeah. So not only rely on Sarah's opinions, yeah, Robin's opinions, we have to compromise everything. Yeah. So that's why sometimes it's very dangerous. You know, in the history of the German as well, you know, it's at the time of the Hitler, yeah, Hitler, a lot of people here in Deutschland, they believe his ideas. There are a lot of people, better not now, yeah. They think he is like God or something like that. They admire him a lot. So they rely on his idea. His idea is dangerous, then the humanity is in danger like that. So only one's own opinion, we should not rely on it. Yeah. And authorities or experts, yeah, sometimes some experts, oh, this is true. Yeah, only that we should not rely on it. Yeah, and one's own teacher. So this one also very clear to see. Yeah, some people, they believe their teacher, then they choose the wrong path. Yeah, so that's why one's own teacher, also we should not rely on it. So this one also very important. Yeah, here sometimes some children, you can see some teachers guided very wrongly. It's not true, but that child thinks, oh, this is my teacher, I have to do what my teacher said, like that. Yeah. So these 10 things, these 10 facts, we should not rely on without further verification. So how to verify the truth? How to choose the path? That is next step. Criteria for acceptance or rejection. Yeah. So this slide is maybe later. Yeah. This is brief. Yeah. Criteria for acceptance or rejection. So we have to accept in life, we have to reject, yeah, every day. Yeah, even at home, today what I have to eat, today what I have to sleep. No, I don't sleep, I don't eat that. No, I don't go there, I will go there. So acceptance and rejection is very important in life, but in believing system is more important than a small thing. Yeah. So how to accept or how to reject? This is a brief. You can read detail in that Kalama Sutta. So the first is to observe. Yeah. If you hear something, you have to observe first and to analyze better here. These observing, analyzing, testing, these three is we are doing all the time. Yeah, we are doing all the time from morning to until you go to bed. Yeah, so observing, analyzing, and testing for yourself. This one also very important. Yeah, for yourself. So the Buddha always wants us to think, to how to say, to use our brain. Yeah, to use our brain, not to the other's brain like that. Yeah, to observe, analyze, and test for yourself. And next step is, does it agree with reason? So this one also, what is the reason? So here, we can say, what we can say easily is, you know, is it reasonable or not. Yeah, reasonable or not. So will it lead to this? This one is more important. Yeah, will it lead to harm or good for yourself and others? So this one, yeah, and harm or good is very important. If I do that, it is harmful for yourself or others, and not only for yourself, but also for others as well. Sometimes some people always argue about that. Yes, and it will be difficult. Sometimes I have to do for myself. Yeah, but the Buddha's way is not like that. If you do something, your action should not harm yourself. Yeah, not only for yourself but also for others. And that action must be good for yourself, not only for yourself but also others. You know, for example, if you sell the weapons, yeah, weapons, and you get the money, yeah, you get the money, and you will be rich. It is good for your life, isn't it? Yeah, but for other, it's not good. This one also, a lot of the people don't want to agree. You know, weapon. We need a weapon to prevent us, to protect the people, or something like that. But the Buddhist idea is not like that. This, you know, I think you also know about the history of the world. So people are setting up the weapons, creating the weapons, and the very, what is it, destructive, yeah, destructive weapons or something, nuclear bombs or something like that. And if someone sells the weapon, so most of the millionaire, billionaire in the world, they sell the weapons, yeah. So if someone sells, make a business with the weapons, they may be rich. But for others, it's very destructive way. Yeah, it's not good for others. So this one also, the Buddha will not encourage to do that. And if you choose, if you do something good, that action, you have to think, is it good for myself, for my life, and for my families, for my countries, something like that, for other people. So we have to think like that first. And then, will it lead to suffering or happiness for yourself and others? This is not very different, yeah? So some actions will lead to suffering for ourselves and for others. You know, like using alcohol and drugs, yeah? And if you want to, but this one also a little bit difficult, yeah? In Western countries, drinking. One day, a German, he came to me, and I love the Buddhist practice. I want to become a Buddhist, but I think I cannot become a Buddhist because, you know, in Buddhism there is a 5 precept, yeah, basic precept by 5 morality. The last one is avoid drinking alcohol. So that's why I cannot stay without drinking beer. He said he wanted to follow exactly as a Buddhist. But I say, oh, don't worry. There are a lot of Buddhist people who drinks. So here, what I mean is, if you use drugs, so I will not focus on the alcohol, but drug is nobody cannot deny. If you use every day, that will suffer your life. You will not get happiness. But one of my Burmese people, and he is still youth. And then I asked, "Have you ever used the drugs? What is it with the secret inside the secret? What is it? Cannabis? What is it? Do you know that? There's a leaf, yeah.
Cannabis. Yeah.
Cannabis, yeah, cannabis. And have you ever used such a drug, cannabis? Then, yeah, once. Oh, tell me your experience. Then he told me, he used with the, he removed all the, material inside the cigarette, and he put there, replaced there, and at that time he was in the toilet, temporary toilet nearby in the Mine River. Then inside the toilet he used that. At the beginning, oh, what's that? But the next what is it? He smoked 1 time, 2 times. Then he feels very bad. He feels very bad. He told me, yeah, he feels very bad. I will never use that. I cannot go out the toilet. Then he looks so weak. But after 1 minute, 2 minutes, he told me, I feel very great. He said, don't use that, yeah. Don't use it. I'm talking his experience, yeah. He feels like he is a flying. he is a flying in the sky, yeah, like a bird. And but he said, this will be addicted, yeah, addicted. Then it will be dangerous. Then only that time he used it. So that's a very funny experience, yeah. So the using drugs or cannabis or more dangerous drugs also one day that will lead to suffering. You know, we can see a lot of people who suffer because of these dangerous drugs. You know, we can see a lot of people, yeah, they sleep on the street, yeah. So mostly in Frankfurt, it's very clear to see that. And that cannot lead us to happiness, yeah. So if we are alcoholic. If we are alcoholic or drug users, now without limit, then that will lead to suffering for himself, not only for himself, but also for others. So that's why this one also important, is almost the same. And next one is we take approval from the wise people. Yeah, wise people. Will a wise person praise or disapprove of it? This step also sometimes we don't have enough knowledge. When we don't have enough knowledge and we don't know how to do it, then we have to think. If I do that, you know, for example, harsh speech, yeah. This is we can say a lot of example, but only the thing came into my mind and give an example. You know, sometimes because of the hatred or anger, we use the harsh speech. But before you talk, yeah, harsh speech, then if I talk like that, if I talk very rudely, will wise person praise or disapprove of it? So every wise person don't like being rude. They like only polite way, yeah? Polite way. So this one also very important. So in your business, in your speech, physical action, verbal action, everything, before you do it, you have to think, if this action is can be praised by the wise or not. We have to think like that. You know, like a child sometimes, yeah? So child also always think, if I do that, my mother will scold me, my mother will not praise me, like that, yeah? So then this child avoid doing that. Oh, if I do that, my mother likes me a lot. My mother loves me a lot. Then he choose to do that. So the criteria for acceptance or rejection is like that. Yeah, this is a brief. But if we talk about this more, there is a lot of categories. Yeah, but this is a general and overview of about the acceptance or rejection. And about faith and worship, yeah. Reverend, don't worry, yeah. I will talk about the Burmese culture and Burmese traditional, how the Buddhism influence, yeah. But at the moment, if you all know what Buddhism is, then if I say a little bit, then you will understand. That's my idea, yeah. And most other teachings and religions place faith and worship above all else. Yeah. So in the world religions, it's a faith and worship is the most important part of their religions. Yeah. So how is it in Buddhism? Yeah. The Buddhism also recognize faith and worship can be helpful in some circumstances. What is far more important is morality and practice. So this one also very important if we learn about the Buddhism. You know, the Buddha never said to about the faith only. And the faith is not come first. And the worship also not necessarily at the first stage. So worship, you know, there's here the word worship means you go to the shrine room and pray to the God, or God help me, something like that. And also you believe God help you, something like that. So in Buddhism, there is no such idea. So instead of faith and worship, the Buddha always emphasized morality and practice. So only blind faith, the Buddha doesn't want us to have. Yeah, blind faith, dogmatic and questioning. Don't question, I'm God. Yeah, I'm the highest being in the world. Yeah. So, and questioning also the Buddha does not like. And the wisdom faith. So the faith the Buddha recognized, but it must be together with your wisdom. So receptive inquiring. You have to think yourself, and oh, this is good. Then the faith establish. And next one is externalize and internalize one. And the Buddhism is not externalized. Responsibility is outside the externalized, but only internalized. Responsibility is within ourselves. And freedom of thought. The freedom of thought allowed by the Buddha is unheard of elsewhere in the history of religions. So now, even this, after 1 hour, you know what Buddhism is a little bit. And in every religion, you know, the freedom of thought is that they don't give, yeah? They don't allow, just believe first and continue next step like that. But in Buddhism, it's not like that. Freedom of thought allowed by the Buddha and heart of elsewhere in the history of religion. This freedom is necessary because according to the Buddha, man's emancipation, liberation, depends on his own realization of truth and not on the benevolent grace of a god or any external power as a reward for his obedient good behavior. Yeah. So I took this from the Dr. Wapula Yahula, what the Buddha taught. So this is the brief, idea of Buddhism. Yeah. So we can read a little bit. Yeah. Buddhism does not believe in creation. We have already talked. And everything is not created by God or gods or any kind of supernatural beings. Everyone has responsibility for their own destiny. So you are responsible of your life, good or bad. Yeah. So everyone has a responsibility. If you do good things, generally speaking, if you do the good things, your life will be good. If you do the bad things all the time, then you have to reap that result from doing bad things. And who we are, what we are, everything in your life is just results of what we do and what we have done in the past moment. So this is, you will learn a little bit more about the karmic theory. It's a cause and result, yeah? Karmic theory. So yeah, this one also, there's a lot, a lot. In the world, some people say, some people pray the God when they have difficulties, and some people thanks God when they have happy life or something like that, But this idea, Buddhism does not believe. If you have the good life, happy life, peaceful life, this is the result of what you did in the past moment. And the Buddha was not the only human being. Actually, he is a human being, He is a human being, but we say the extraordinary human being. The Buddha was not the only human being. He claimed he no inspiration from any god or external power either. In most of the religious leaders said, even some junior teachers in most of the religion, I was sent by the God to this world, like that, And also, they said, all the words from my mouth came from the God, something like that. But the Buddha never claimed, no inspiration from any God or external power either. He attained or he realized the truth, and he teach other people again, like that. He shared his knowledge. He attributed all his realization, attainments, achievements to human endeavor and human intelligence. And next one is man is his own master. So this idea is more or less the same with this, yeah. So if your life, you own your life, yeah. You are responsible for every action. So you can do good for your life. You can do bad for your life, yeah. So man is his own master, and there is no higher being, or there is no higher power that sits in judgment over his destiny. Only what you do and what you have done in the past moment judge your destiny. One is one's own refuge. Who else copied the refuge, said the Buddha. He admonished his disciples to be refuge to themselves and never to seek refuge in or help from anybody else. He taught, encouraged, stimulated each person to develop himself. Yeah. So this is here in that stage only the idea, but later we have to learn a little bit how to develop ourselves according to the Buddhist way. Yeah, develop. The Buddha always encouraged to develop himself and to work out his own emancipation. For our liberation, for our absolute freedom, we have to work. For man has the power to liberate himself from all bondage through his own personal effort and intelligence. The Buddha can give only the path, but that path we have to walk ourselves. So this is the brief idea of Buddhism. Okay, so the foundation of Buddhism. This is not a very easy one, but I will try to say as much as I can. Yeah. So this is only 4 sentences. Yeah. But this is real foundation of Buddhism. Everything must lead to these 4, to realize these 4. So this is most important in Buddhist teaching. Yeah. So 4 noble truths we call. All beings are subject to dukkha. Dukkha means suffering. All beings are subject to suffering. So when some people look at these 4 noble truths, the Buddhism is pessimist. Yeah, pessimism. Pessimism. But if you understand the what the Buddha wants, oh, it's a puppy, big. So what does this mean? Yeah, better before we go very deeply, and let's read all these. Yeah. So the first one is all beings are subject to suffering, and second is dukkha. Suffering arises from desire and craving. When you see the dog, not dog, cat, because he is that is in front of the camera, looks big.
Yeah,
Cat.
big.
I thought it's dog. So the life, all the life, yeah, everybody has suffering. And why we suffer? Why we suffer? Because of our desire and craving. So these 2 is cause and effect. Yeah. Because of desire, craving, attachment, we suffer. This one. And number 3 is suffering can be eliminated. That suffering, yeah, we are suffering, but we can come out of it. We can get rid of all this suffering. There is a solution, it means, yeah? There is a solution. We are suffering, but we can remove all this suffering. How? The Noble Eightfold Path. This is the Buddhist way. The path is Noble Eightfold Path. It's the way for our enduring peace and happiness. So this is the real foundation of Buddhism. So if I ask you, hey Robin, are you happy? And they say, do you like your life? Your life full of happiness or full of suffering?
It's both, isn't it?
Suffering and happiness and happiness, yeah.
Mm.
Yeah, coming time to time, you will say like that. Here, dukkha suffering is connected with the impermanence, yeah. Tell me if I am spelled wrong, yeah. Permanent.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, permanent, I think is right. Yeah, because it's sometimes it's when I write in the even in email, yeah. If I write wrong, the email can correct itself. We don't need to care, yeah. Mm-hmm. Only we can write the closest corrector. Then, so that's why if I write on the book, my spelling is so bad. Impermanent, yeah. Always changing, yeah. Always changing. Changing, not permanent, yeah. So permanent is not stable, yeah, not changing. Impermanent is changing. And also another one is no self. This one, no self, no ego. This one also, I think the English translation is not enough. The real meaning of this is, what is it? For example, Sarah, can you say, I don't want to get old. I want my body like this all the time. But we cannot say that, yeah? We cannot say that. We can see very clearly, yeah? But most of the men does not focus on, but they also focus, yeah? But mostly the girls, they like their body, their beauty very much. And when they are getting old, most of the ladies, they are not happy because getting old is make them unhappy. They want all the time beautiful like that. So here, no self. In Pali, let me write here. Dukkha is in Pali. Suffering, impermanent in Pali is anicca. Anicca, and then no self is anatta. Sorry. Anatta. So anicca means impermanence. Impermanence. Anatta means no self. So that means our body and mind cannot control. Our body does not listen what we want. Not listen, yeah? Do you understand what I mean? You know, we are going to the death. One day we all have to go to the cemetery. Yeah, we don't know which age, but we are going. This exactly. We cannot deny that. So anatta, no self, means we cannot control our body, our mind, always changing. So because of, if we can control something, we are happy. You know, for example, if you have a children, you will know that the parents like their children who obey their words, yeah? But our body does not obey what we want. This is called suffering. You know, if I watch the football, now maybe play in Deutschland in Japan now, maybe first half finish. Just joking, yeah. You know, as a person who lives in Deutschland, I want the Deutschland win that game. But we cannot say like that, yeah. But we want to control a lot in life. You want to control your body not to change, have the beauty to not beauty, yeah, intelligent to stupidity or something like that. You don't want that. You always want to control. You always want to live with good situation of your body and mind. But we cannot get that. That's suffering. I hope you understand, yeah? So that's why it is not the pessimistic. This is just a substance of what we have. So life is like that. You know, in the world, there are a lot of people, they have depression, stressful life, and happiness. This show they don't accept the suffering of life. We have to accept that. We have to accept that. You know, sometimes when we see, I don't know you, that kind of idea came into your mind or not. When we see the very old people, they are very difficult to walk, their body is shaking. Sometimes I feel, oh, some reminds me about the suffering of life. One day I also have to be like that. We cannot keep control. We have to allow our body what it is. Yeah. So real nature of the body, we cannot control that. So all beings, not only human beings, but also animals and gods, everyone, every beings in this universe are subject to suffering because they cannot control themselves. But sometimes the people looks happy because they get what they want. But the next day, if they don't get what they want, they feel suffer. So always changing. That changing itself is suffering. If something is stable, no changing, permanent, it looks good. Yeah. So, you know, as a student, you are in the young age. Hey, next 20 years, next 30 years, if I see the Robin, Sarah with this beauty, you know, exception, yeah. If I see this body and mind, I will be happy. But no, next 30 years, hello, Maybe next 30 years I may die. Yeah. So, changing itself and not being able to control itself is suffering. So, in this case, in your mind, actually, you don't have learned a lot. Actually, it is connected with the Nibbana, yeah, final goal of the Buddhism, yeah, Nibbana. You can think about the heaven in the Christianity, and you can think about the what is it, Jannat, or like heaven in Islam or something like that. So Nibbana is absolute freedom. There's no changing at all. No changing at all. So if we compare that, all the lives are subject to suffering. So this is the first truth. In Pali, dukkha satya. Yeah, dukkha. There's a lot, but let me continue a little bit. Second is dukkha arises from desire and craving. This one also very deep, actually. You know, for example, a lady is attached, very much attached to his beauty. Then one day, that beauty is fading, yeah, because of the age or because of the disease. Then she suffers a lot. So, okay, they're beautiful ladies, yeah, beautiful ladies, but changed. Her beauty is a little bit changed, not very beautiful, yeah, and because she attached to her beauty a lot, if she does not attach to her beauty, this truth cannot become, yeah, cannot appear, because of she attached too much to her beauty, yeah, desire, craving, attachment, yeah, attachment. Because of that, she has suffering. And likewise, you can think a lot of things like that. You can see this attachment. Every suffering, you can see every suffering. So that's why I asked Robin, are you happy or are you unhappy? Whenever you have unhappiness, you will see attachment. If you cut that attachment, no suffering. No suffering. Yeah? I think you understand this connection, yeah? This connection. So second is because of attachment, but based not only attachment, based on the attachment, there is a hatred, delusion, a lot of negative qualities of the mind. Because of the negative qualities of the mind, people are suffering. So, in these two truths, if a person does not attach, or if a person has already eradicated or get rid of or removed all the impurities of the mind, all the negative mindsets, all the defilements, then he will not get suffering. So if you learn a little bit more later, then you understand more. So this desire or craving or attachment produce suffering. You know, for example, oh, I want this, I want a new iPhone or something like that, yeah? but you don't have money, then you feel not good. Whenever you go to the downtown, when you go to the iPhone and Apple store, then you suffer. Yeah? How I have to do that? I want this. There's an example. Yeah. So because of this attachment to the iPhone, you suffer. But if you remove that attachment, you are okay. You can walk very peacefully without wanting the iPhone because you remove the desire or attachment to the iPhone like that. Yeah. To the people, to the things you want. If you can remove the attachment, there is no suffering. And one question, hey, the people cannot live without attachment. Yeah, they will say that. Actually, it's knowing attachment also cannot produce suffering. Hey, I want an iPhone. If I cannot get, still okay. You have such an idea, yeah, such a concept. But some people, if I want this, if I don't get it, I will die. Some people, yeah, you know, some youths in the movie, if I don't get your love, I will die. I cannot live without you, like that, yeah. Oh, this is because of the attachment, suffering appears. Oh, this is 1 and 2 of the Four Noble Truths. So next week we'll continue 3 and 4. Do you have any question? I hope you understand. Do you understand?
Ist noch recht übersichtlich. It's still.
Okay. If you want to put a question on me, you can, yeah, because sometimes without question I cannot know how you understand, yeah. What is the message? When can we get the slide? Wait, I have not finished. But I will look at it. I can give some slide, but even though it's a draft, yeah, draft if you want. Okay, so see you next week. Yeah, next week we have, yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Thank
Okay.
you.
Okay.
Okay. Bye bye.
Bye.
Bye bye.